Hi everyone, my name is Frankie Delgado with QED Energy Associates, and I'm going to show you real quick how to do an import into PHDwin V3 of an ARIES database. So I have my ARIES database in this folder right here, PHDwin V3, and it's in the folder in here called ARIES import. The database is titled Project Hello. So that's what I'm going to call my database in V3 as well. So first thing we need to do is go ahead and open up PHDwin V3 and make a new blank database with nothing else in it for us to import the ARIES database into. So I've got my PHDwin one right here. I'm going to drop down the database drop down. I see a couple other databases in there, but right now I'm just going to click this Create New Database. And I'm going to name it Project Hello, just to keep it the same. Create. Now, once that creates, there won't be anything in it. It'll just be a blank database. And then I'm just going to toss my ARIES database in there. And we should be good to go from there. Okay, here's our blank V3 database. So now I want to import a database into this. So I'm going to go up here to the top left on the home ribbon where it says add/import. I'm going to click on that guy. And when it opens up, I'm just going to go down to the bottom where it says import and click on that. Now that opens up our import window. What we need to do first is find our database, which I already have in my selected right here. But if you don't have it selected already, what you need to do is just check from my computer and then click on these three ellipses to the right and then just browse for it. Mine was on the desktop. I have my V3 folder, ARIES import, projecthello.mdb. Click open. And then down here in the options section, we have a few options. First one is ID code to match on primary ID code to match, primary ID code, sorry. That's set on retrieval code. That really doesn't matter in this case because I'm importing a database into a blank database, so nothing should match. Now, the next one is important to look at. The first time I did this, it was set to skip unmatched cases. And this is, if no matching ID is found, skip unmatched cases. What that's going to mean is if it doesn't find any ID in the incoming database that matches an ID in the current database, which is blank, then it's not going to add any new cases. That's not what we want when we're importing a database. So if no matching ID is found, I want to change that to add new cases because all I want to do is add a bunch of new cases right now from our ARIES database. So other than that, display error logs. Our formats are English, United States, and everything like that. If you wanted to, you could also check this button right here, autofit monthly history on newly added producing cases. And that's going to give you a few options on how you want to autofit the history on incoming cases based on most recent trend or all data. Should the projection overlap, and then certain parameters you would like the auto projections to follow. My database already has projections in it, so I'm not going to check that guy because I'm just going to leave the forecasts in that come in. The main thing I want to check on here is make sure if no matching ID is found, add new cases. Okay. Now, I can't just click the import button. That is grayed out. What I need to do now is click this map data button so that I can tell PHDwin what columns in this database are going to go where in the V3 database. Map data. That opens up my import mapping window. It's going to automatically go to a kind of default new layout right here, new layout mapping. And the source table in the top right is going to be just your tables in your incoming access file, which in this case is an ARIES database. So I could make my own mapping. I could, scroll here and go to the property table. Let's find that. AC property. And right now in this new mapping, there's no PHDwin fields to map these ARIES fields. I could take the time and expand, for example, the case titles, case API code. I could drag that over here to API. And I can see the API column in my incoming database will go to the API column in my V3 database. I could take the time and go through that, set that up myself if I'm extra picky. But to tell you the truth, the ARIES layout that PHDwin already has in it works very well. So I'm just going to drop down my layout menu and select ARIES, and it's going to reload. And if I want to, I can go in here and look at my specific tables that are coming in to the property table. And I can see where it's going to put all these columns. So the lease is going to go in the case name, obviously, and things like field, operator. It just makes sense. This is everything you need. If I wanted to, I could spend extra time trying to go through here and matching other things in here. but really this works great for me. This works great for every database I've seen come in. So it should work pretty good for you too. Now I can click this import button. So I've, changed my layout to ARIES, made sure it's what I'm happy with, and I'm gonna go ahead and click import. What that's gonna do is that's gonna give you a little progress bar to show you the status of your cases being imported from your ARIES or MDB database into your PHDwin V3 database. There you go. Mine should be done, and it should load up here in a second. There we go. So my database had 27 cases in it. So now this database has 27 cases in it also. So real quick, what I am going to do is I'm going to change my view up here. Change it to standard because I like the standard view. I'm going to edit mine ever so slightly real quick. I'm going to get rid of this graph down here. Just close it out with the X. And then I'm going to move this graph over here to this set of tabs up here at the top. So I now have that up here with my general info and everything. Now I can see in my scenario dropdown that I now have 3 new scenarios. Beforehand, I only had the default scenario, which just comes with every PHDwin V3 database. I'm having ARIES default, a QED, and a QEDB. Now the one that I was working on in the ARIES database is this QED one right here. So I can notice right here I have no prices in my default scenario, but when I switch to my QED scenario, it's going to load up some prices for me. There we go. Now, the cool thing about this is that these are the side files that were in ARIES. So what PHDwin does is it sees side files and it goes ahead and makes models in the V3 database. So these are the side files that were in ARIES, how they were in ARIES. So I don't really have to do anything with prices or edit anything else like that because PHDwin recognizes side files, lookup tables, and at macros too, and applies those values where it should in V3. It's very nice. Speeds up what I'm doing in here a whole lot because I don't have to redo prices or anything like that. From here on out, I can go to my forecast and say, okay, these are the forecasts I had in ARIES. Look through here, I've got my expenses set up how they were in ARIES, and now I'm ready to go. I could change things as I need to. I could send this off to a colleague that uses V3, or I could just take it myself and run with it from here. Okay, that is a quick overview of importing ARIES database into PHDwin V3.
Wow. Big thanks to Frankie Delgado of QED Energy Associates. Thanks for that amazing quick help. At QED Energy Associates, we make the world's best reservoir engineering technicians. Call on us today to find out more about our database conversion services. We offer reservoir engineering techs on demand for a 15-minute project or for 5 hours. Whatever you need, we've got techs available today that can help you get it done. You can have a QED technician dedicated to your account if you want to reserve somebody full-time at your office. And the terms could go from 1 week, 1 month, 1 year. We're happy to cover whatever kind of term you want for a dedicated reservoir engineering technician consultant to be on site there with you. You can attempt to hire our technicians. We want all of the QED trained technicians to be hired by you, our clients, so you can hire them directly at any time. We offer some custom classroom training services on topics specifically requested by our clients. We have some nice one-on-one training that can be facilitated at your office. At QED Energy Associates, we believe that competency is not necessarily tied to years of experience. Therefore, for everyone on our staff, we go through and rate their competency level right now, today, through project work, quizzes, tests. We make sure when you call in and need a QED service, we're getting you somebody that has the skills to be able to get that work done for you today. It's my job at QED to make sure that every purchase you make is one that you're happy with. If ever you have a problem with a QED service, please contact me directly. I'm Courtney Stevens, and I can be reached at our office. You can call us at 832-581-3758. The quickest way to get a hold of us anytime is to email us at dreamteam@qedea.com. Big thanks to John Smith and the whole team at TRC Consultants for putting on this fabulous PHDwin Week. What a great service. We truly appreciate you letting QED be a part this year and every year.